whether I win in the semis or I win on Championship Sunday, we're gonna have beer sitting courtside, fans, subscribers, anybody. If you've got McGuffin, get your ass down to Championship Court, slug some Millers with me, dump some beer on my head, and let's ride. Let's ride. It's Miller time. What's going on? My name is Tyson McGuffin. Welcome to the McGuffin Show. It's been a couple weeks now. Played Dallas, PPA San Clemente, MLP San Clemente. Great 3 weeks, I'll tell you what. Happy to be back in Coeur d'Alene, though. I'm taking the next 6 weeks off, so pumped about that. Getting stem cells blasted in the elbow tomorrow, so I'll be out for like 2.5, 3 weeks. Pampering the elbow, doing a bunch of red light therapy, doing a bunch of Beamer, getting blood flow in that elbow and getting that thing sparked back up, because right now it's about 50%. I've been playing with a shitty elbow for a while now. So yeah, just happy to see my doc that I have in Liberty Lake. His name's Dr. Jamie Lewis. Kind of a cool story. In 2019, I had some pretty severe tennis elbow. Was more on top. Now it's more golfers and interior. But in 2019, we were like a week before nationals. I was crying to my wife, saying I'm not going to play nationals. You know, this sucks. This is the first year, or no, sorry, it was the second year that I was at the tennis garden. And anyhow, being the angel, being the princess, being the most efficient person in this family, within about 24 hours, she found a doctor that was very booked, but got me in last minute in Liberty Lake, Washington, which is right outside of Spokane. And what's this place called?
Regenerax.
Regenerax.
Yep.
Anyhow, 2019, a week before nationals, got a couple of different injections in my elbow. I got like 3 in the elbow, 3 in the shoulder, 3 in the neck. Ever since then, I've had a brand new elbow. It took, I don't know, it probably took like 4 weeks for it to really get better. But I remember I went to nationals. Didn't practice for a couple months, went to nationals kind of leading up, and taught a camp. While I was teaching the camp, I was in a sling. My arm felt like it was like 1,000,000 pounds. And then, I don't know, a couple days after the camp, tried practice for the first time in a couple months. The elbow felt okay. Ended up playing nationals. I played age as well, which was really silly because I played throughout the whole week. By the end of the week, came the pro events. My elbow was trashed again, and like suffered through singles. I remember that singles day. I felt so freaking old. I had a toenail that was falling off. I had a bad hip, and I had an elbow that was at like 10%.
Hurting.
Anyhow, after nationals, took 4 weeks off, taught a bunch of camps, gained like 20 pounds, drank way too many IPAs. This was the end of 2019, and my first tournament back was World Pickleball Championships. That was Riley and I's first time playing together. 2019, we ended up taking down Ben and Kyle. And anyhow, after taking 4 weeks off after nationals, I felt like my elbow was back to 100%, and ever since then, it's been pretty much 100%. So just recently, in the last 6 months or so, the elbow pain came back. So I'm going back in to get my elbow blasted, and I am more than excited. So get this thing pampered up and get it ready, because it needs about 7 or 8 more years of greatness, and then pickleball, see you later. TM is gone.
Yeah, and we've, I think a lot of other people we've referred over that have gone have been like just as impressed, like with the long results and how easy, and they're really careful about it. And I think the difference between PRP and what you did, I don't know the exact, but it was called platelet lysate, I believe.
Yeah.
Which is supposed to give you a little bit more immediate effect, right. where
PRP takes 6 to 8 weeks. Platelet lysate injection essentially is plasma mixed with lysate. Instead of it taking 6 or 8 weeks, it takes about a week. So, anyhow, so excited for that. Let's see here. Children are only getting bigger, only getting
smarter.
Only getting smarter. Mac for the first time dropped his first heater in the toilet. He was outside with mom yesterday. Said he had to go poop. Mom said, well, hey, you want to try it on the toilet? Guess what he did? He went on that toilet and he dropped a nuke, and then laughed about it.
He's so cute. It was so funny. He was like looking at me and he's like poop and he's like grunting and I'm like, hey, do you want to try on the toilet? And he went. I think he's
comes to show that you can do anything
potty.
with a mullet. Right? It just comes to show.
I think you could surpass Banks on the potty training end.
Banks is still dropping loads in her pants.
She's not interested at all. She's not. I mean, I think she's gone once on the toilet, but we try to like incentivize. We hear both. Maybe people should guide us.
If you go poop for me right now, I will give you a maple bar. It doesn't happen.
No, but like some people say, do like force them, like to encourage them and that, and then there's a whole nother camp that just
force
says,
the
like,
maple bar down their throat.
No, that just says like just wait until they're ready, they'll show interest, just like Mac did yesterday.
Right.
So I don't know.
Lovely.
But if she wants to go to school soon, I feel like we gotta
Bankers, quit dropping it in your pants.
And it doesn't help that she looks 4 years old and then she's still in diapers, so it's a little confusing.
All right. Very
she's
confusing.
so tall.
Very confusing. I'm not going to talk about Dallas because it seemed like that was 2 months ago. But I did take a bronze in singles, yelled at my wife a little bit, got nice and psycho after I choked against Ben, as I usually do, and ended up beating Federico. First time I've beaten Federico ever since I have been in pickleball. So it was nice to get over the 0-3. Love me some Fetty and Pablo. But Texas, it was hot, it was humid, and PPA, let's not have that tournament at the end of May. I think it was a bad idea. But
there was a little joke with Minnesota in, is it February? Minnesota in February.
Brilliant timing. Brilliant.
Texas in June. We just got to flop those two, if at all possible.
Right. PPA San Clemente, we had ourselves a full day of travel, I'll tell you what. And this just comes to show how much of a loving husband I am. So obviously didn't do jack, you know what, on Championship Sunday in Texas Open because I didn't make it. So anyhow, my wife was planning on, well, you'd already booked your flight early morning. So I mean, come on, look at the faith over here. She knew I wasn't going to make it. She's like, this cat being this hot, there's no freaking way. This guy is smoking through shirts every 3 minutes and he's going to make the finals. There's no way. No. Anyhow, we end up flying out early Sunday. Yeah. Didn't have our children in Rockwall. Love ourselves some Rockwall. What's your favorite restaurant in Rockwall?
Oh, gosh.
Put her on the spot.
That's a great question. I guess all I can think of, the sushi place actually that we went to the last day was with
what is that place called?
Oh gosh, I don't know.
Dun, dun, dun.
It was super good though. Super yummy.
Yeah. Anyhow, so flew out Sunday morning, flew from noon. Dallas to Salt Lake to Spokane, drove from Spokane to Coeur d'Alene, 45 minutes, picked up our children, packed all their crap, drove back to the airport.
Flew out at
4. Flew into Salt Lake. I was like, damn, I was just here. I was just here a few hours ago. What in the hell? And then flew to John Wayne that night. Yep. If you're going to Orange County and you are flying to LAX, that should be a crime. It should completely be a crime. It is criminal. Don't ever do that. Pay the extra $200. Get your ass to John Wayne. It's necessary.
I'm so John bad. Wayne. I don't even like flying through LAX. I feel like she loves it. I don't know if it's just for Delta.
She loves flying Comfort Plus.
Oh, stop.
Oh yeah, she does.
Stop.
Loves herself.
Well, we're now in this dilemma, which is
no dilemma
first
for me.
Problems.
I don't need to fly first class because I don't need any more alcohol.
Right now, the 2 seats are great because I sit in a seat, I hold Mac, Banks has her seat because there's only 2 seats and 2 seats. So now what are we gonna do when Mac in September? He's gonna have to have his own seat. So the
he's
question
not coming
is,
anymore.
Do I put the kids together and then I sit in the seat in the aisle, or do I sit Bankers next to a
Or
stranger?
do we sit Mac and Banks in 33A and B and we sit in first class? Say, see ya. See ya. I don't know who those kids are.
We're going to figure that out. Or we're going to need a flying buddy. One of the two.
Yeah, we're hiring for a flying buddy.
Hey, and if you can film content too, that'd be great.
Come on.
Just a flying buddy and
a lot of job responsibility there. Children and content.
Okay. It's probably not gonna
anyhow, made it to San Clemente that Sunday night. Woke up Monday, got some good practice in with my guy, Garnett. CG! Come on, who doesn't love CG?
I love Connor.
Nicest guy in pickleball.
He is.
The guy's working his ass off right now. If you guys didn't hear my interview, kind of a cool story about Connor. And when Connor was on my podcast a while back, I talked about this as well. But so I was like 23, 24. I was a head tennis pro at a club in Yakima, Washington. Connor lived in Washington State, lived in Seattle, was like, I don't know, top 5, top 2 in 16s and 18s in tennis. Anyhow, I used to run all the junior tournaments in Yakima, all the USTA junior stuff, and Connor would come play my tournaments. I actually saw Connor's dad for the first time again in a long time this last weekend in MLP. At MLP, Connor's dad and I were talking about how we used to talk back in the day during Connor's junior tournaments, and freaking full circle, right? So freaking weird. Anyhow, so Connor used to come play my tournaments back in the day, and I thought Connor's game at that time was like, I thought he was super talented, loved his technique, the two-hander, he could just hit the living shit out of it. And he was a good kid. He was humble, nerdy as could be. Anyhow, so when I found out, 10 years later that Connor was playing pickle and he was a PNW guy, I'm like, bro, get to Coeur d'Alene, come train. I'll totally help you out. And so in my interview, I was joking, as Jimmy doesn't think so. I was joking, and I was simply saying that Connor, love you, buddy, and you're like the most stellar guy, but you are not allowed to come to Coeur d'Alene anymore because you're getting way too good. If you know what I mean, meaning so silly.
Yeah, gotta reach sometimes.
Right, and then there was another comment about Delray.
Crazy.
Delray,
Oh
and
my
me
God.
saying that like players in Delray are getting quick at a rapid rate. They're not getting quick because of PEDs. I don't know what.
Delray.
They're getting good because everybody in their grandkid lives in Delray. Who do you not have there? You have the Johnsons, you have the Waters, you have James, you have Anna, you have Andre, you have Mircha, you have Julie. I mean, it goes on and on and on. That is the biggest hotbed practice-wise and talent-wise in the country. K-Mac and I have talked about that for a long time. So
On to the next topic. But CG, yeah. Such a nice guy, and like it's so cool to see how quickly his game has evolved. I mean, how long has he been on tour now? Like
for sure. He's been on tour for like a year and a half.
Crazy.
Anyhow, so practice
He's
with
right around the corner.
practice at Los Cobb. It's a new club there in Orange County, and Maggie and Mary's dad is the head pro, or is the director there. I can't remember what his first name is. Great guy. Another Selkirk guy. And anyhow, so it seems like there's a lot of players in Orange County that are practicing there that are not going up to Arcadia or going out to Jeff's place just because it's kind of a commute. And anyhow, so got some good practice in with CG on Monday. Got practice in Tuesday at this gal's house. She let us film some content there. Stupidly nice house. The only thing was that she had a beautiful court, but around the edge of the court was turf. So I played some singles with Yame there. Probably a bad idea to be like, moving super aggressively on turf and then I guess onto like a regular surface. Changing direction and stuff was a little interesting. But the cool thing about that court is that anytime that you hit a line, it would bounce.
It doesn't lie.
It doesn't lie. Anytime it would go out, it would just roll. So you didn't have to call your own lines. The only goofy thing is that on the sideline, there was like some separation with the turf and the side of the court. So anytime you hit a sideline, it would just shoot off to the side. It wouldn't actually bounce naturally or like true. Anyhow, she was super sweet. Got some content in with Details Wine. Details Wine has a less aggressive logo. And I know I got a little flack with that. Mom, if you want to talk about that.
No, I think there's so much more, and we'll cover it. I think we're gonna probably have them on as a guest.
Here's that new logo.
But his dad, actually the creator, his dad was an altar boy actually, and so there's actually a little bit more to that story. But definitely Christian family, and no negative connotation there. But we'll elaborate on that when we have him on sometime. But it was cool to meet him. But Senegal Winery, Details is just one of their many wines that they have. So, but yeah, it does look a little edgy. So I totally get where people could get confused on that. But yeah, it's kind of cool little story. But we'll cover that.
But yeah, got some content in there. Got a little practice in. What else did we do Tuesday? I feel like we had something else going on.
Let's see. Yeah, we went back to the venue. You shot some content with Beamer. We also did, I don't know if that was in the same day or if that was the next day.
Yeah, shot some content with Beamer.
And Pickleball Central.
Beamer actually has a new medical device for all the Beamer users out there, or for all the Beamer users that maybe use it, because I have talked about it so heavily on my podcast. The intensities back in the day, I guess with the old medical device, was 1 through 10, was a bit more complex. Now they've scaled it back. It's a lot simpler. Even a 10 and under kid or a 10-year-old could really figure out how to operate that medical device. But instead of it being 1 through 10, now it's low, medium, high.
And it's touchscreen, right? So it's all like new interface. Right. And they came out with multiple pads. So like for a while there was just one big thick pad that you could put under your sheets and stuff. Now they have a thin, breathable
there's a
version.
Yeah, right.
So now you have 2 pads and the Lite. They brought back the beauty light and all the things, but. Yeah, I'm excited to get our new one because it seemed pretty cool.
Yeah, for sure.
So, yeah.
And then PPA San Clemente, let's see here, played pretty well on Thursday, ended up not losing a game in singles. I think I'm definitely moving and playing the best that I have in a long time on the singles court. I give a lot of credit to Wild Health with just getting me dialed through genetic DNA testing. My diet's better. Been working with my therapist. I'm on the right supplements. I've lost like 5 or 7 pounds. I think I've been going so heavy in protein that there's just been a little extra on my waist. So I've been able to cut that down a little bit. Still looking to go clean with my diet, high in protein, less in carbs, less bread, or no bread, no sugar.
All about balance.
Yeah. Anyhow, just this last weekend, I felt like I was moving a lot better, even like losing 5 or 7 pounds, or just not having that water weight in me. First step was a lot more explosive. Lateral movement, like my center of gravity felt really low. I felt scrappy. I feel like in singles, when I'm low to the ground and I feel agile and I feel like limber and I'm flexible down there, I'm one scrappy dude, and it's tough to get a ball past me. I thought I served big and was able to find forehands, and usually if I can do that, that's a pretty good recipe. Friday and mixed, Catherine and I ended up balling out as well. Went 4-0. I don't believe we lost a game either in mixed that day. So went Thursday and Friday without losing a game, not too shabby. And then woke up Saturday and Saturday morning, woke up, saw a nice tweet, I shouldn't call it nice. I saw a tweet from Jimmy, and, Jimmy posted that he didn't play well in mixed, even though they ended up coming back and taking bronze. So congrats to them. But he said that, he wasn't feeling too comfortable. This is like the worst that he's played. He used to drive Uber. He's come a long ways, yada, yada, yada. Long story short, the guy, walks into our first match on Saturday, and I could just tell, like, Jimmy's my boy, love the guy, but I could just tell he was kind of lacking confidence and stuff like that. So pretty much all year long, I've been playing the right. And about 2 or 3 points in, Jimmy gave me the sign behind his back telling me to get my ass over on the left, and that maybe he didn't want to play on that side. Long story short, Jimmy and I had ourselves a freaking day. I played the left. Jimmy played great on the right. We ended up getting our first medal. We got a nice little dub over J-Dub and Dylan, who is arguably, probably the third or fourth best ranked team in the world right now. And for Jimmy and I, who've lost to those guys countless times, I haven't freaking beat that team in years. So for us to get a dub over them in the way that we did, I thought it was pretty cool. So good for us to get over the hump, good for us to gain some confidence. And I played nice and messy. Honestly, I played men's on Friday, I played men's on Saturday, how I played mixed on Friday. Right. Bang the serve, find the drive, make it messy in transition. Look to find different ways to attack from the kitchen line. Obviously, I'm not speeding up a whole lot with the backhand off the bounce, but mainly most of the offense on the backhand side is out of the air. Forehand side, it could be off the bounce or out of the air. I was taking a larger piece of the court, kind of, playing a little bigger in the middle, taking drops off of Jimmy's inside foot, taking some dinks off of Jimmy's inside foot. Anyhow, just with me taking some more court, gave Jimmy some room to breathe. He got the monkey off his back. He played sick on the right. And later on that day, I mean, obviously we got completely rolled up and thrown out by the Johns. So it was tough coming back from that. But we ended up playing Deckel Bar and Callan Dawson in the bronze match about 9 o'clock that night. There was actually a decent amount of people there, and Jimmy and I ended up winning in 3. And Jimmy played great on the right, like dropped really well. His counters looked great. He started finding some offense. He started using his forehand off the bounce to speed back behind Deckel and speed at Deckel's right hip. And I thought I saw a brand new Jimmy with just, I guess, him not having to see as many balls and kind of be more of like the setup guy on the right. So I think that was huge for us to get over that little hurdle. It was huge for us to get over that little hump. And I think only more medals for Jimmy and I this year. And a story that I'm going to mention, just another lovely story of me being a psycho at my wife, and when I talk about psycho, it's only like 5% of the time, right, love?
Yeah.
Right.
Just little breakdown moment.
A little breakdown moment.
Psychos
95% of the time, it's always positive. But when anyhow, so it's like it's 8-all in game 3, and it's Callan. So I'm on the left, Callan's on the left. They had just switched sides. It seemed like Deckel primarily the whole match played the left side. Anyhow, it's Callan and I, dinking 40 balls in a row. Callan's giving me nothing to work with. He's hitting these little dead dinks in the middle. In my head, I'm like dying to speed up, have a huge case of premature ejaculation. And anyhow, I bowed out of speeding up at like, I think it was 7-8. No. It was 8-8-1. I bowed out of speeding up. I tried to dink it back middle. I ended up missing a dink. I look at my wife. There's a lot of people there. I look at my wife, and I screamed something out of my mouth. Who knows what I said? Directly after I said, I'm going to break this. You know what, paddle? Ref gave me a technical verbal warning. I totally understand. I said, I'm sorry. I said it wasn't me. Said it was Jimmy. It wasn't me. Nobody else was talking. Anyhow, so then it goes into 8-8-2, right? 8-8-2, right before Jimmy serves. I'm thinking in my head, and I said, you freaking pansy. If you miss another dink, I'm going to break every paddle in my bag. And I just came in with that next point with a much more like aggressive tempo and thought, hey, I haven't sped up middle. I've been thinking about it. For the last game and a half. Even though I'm not getting a dink, let's dink more aggressively so we can get a lift dink in the middle, right? That's what happened. I ended up dropping, came in, hit an aggressive dink to Callan. Callan gave me a little liftier dink in the middle. I added a little loop like I was going to go back inside out, held it, sped up middle, ended up hitting a winner, got us to 9-8 at 9-8, cranked to serve, cranked to drive, came in, closed, baked off my own shake, got it to 10-8 at 10-8. You damn know what I did. Same thing. Hit a huge serve, banged the third, came in, crashed, game, match. That's how we do it. 11-8 in the third. Jimmy took his pants off, and it's all good.
It was funny. I was sharing with, because we got to see Brittany and Ryan and Minnie and all of that Newport crew.
Tell the story about Minnie and Banks.
Them. Oh,
next time I see her, she's gonna be married.
Minnie loves Banks because they met Banks when she was like, I think like 3 weeks old or something. Is when we first kind of met that whole crew and like stayed in.
Who is that crew?
Give us the whole context. Newport Beach crew. So
right.
Gosh,
the Hurleys, Ryan Hurley's dad, Bob Hurley owns Hurley.
All the
great family. I've had both Ryan and Brittany in my camp. June, their daughter, watches the kids.
Yeah,
Brittany and Ryan are great.
Family,
Ryan's tatted from the neck all the way down.
And Minnie's it was a member at the club there. And I play some, and I think he used to play. It's from Minnesota, right? That's where his name.
Who knows where Minno's from? Living on the streets.
Some hockey or something. He's got a little edge to him, but yeah, he loves bankers, and he really wants to see her, and we never bring her to the tournament. And then it just didn't work out. And he was supposed to come see her, and he didn't. So he's making a joke that the next time he sees her, she'll be married, because we just never have her at the tournaments. But yeah. Anyways, so they were sitting with me, and it was funny. I was explaining to them how like very grateful to be in bronze medal matches. You know, get there, but in the same sense, I kind of have this like loathing for bronze medal matches just because it's like it's so hard. You're coming off a semi loss.
No, it sucks because you win that semi. You're at the Airbnb chilling, soaking a Miller, thinking about Sunday.
It's usually cold. It's usually
sucks.
Usually no people. There were a lot of people there that day, which was great. Right. But like usually that nobody's watching. Both teams are just like so upset that they just like lost in the semi. So it just definitely it's a different mindset. Like for the beginning, I think for both teams, it's just kind of a negative mindset. So it's always there's a little psycho involved in that.
Yeah, and huge fan of Callan Dawson. If you're not a fan of Callan Dawson, shame on you. Nicest guy in pickleball, and a guy that just puts in freaking effort. That stance of his, that dinking stance, is by far the most physical thing you'll ever see. The way he loses leverage because he chokes up on the paddle and how low he gets, the guy is a dog for being down there. Deckel also total stud. Jeez. I mean, in that freaking match, that serve and that drive, my serve, pretty big. Deckel's serve is just a complete freaking bazooka.
He truly uses his whole
It's
frame,
bazooka. Right? And then on top of that forehand gets up and down in a hurry. Crazy. Plain and simple, both James and I were just trying to freaking see the 80 mile an hour drive coming at us, right? So with Deckel, it's just get the freaking return back and punch that fourth ball down. Yeah. And as long as we can get through those first two things, we were fine.
I have to say,
get the return back and punch the fourth down.
I have to say, like, James' drops were so, I don't know, like, it sounds ridiculous, and I kept saying it all day long. It was, like, the prettiest thing I've ever seen. Like, it was just so consistent, and it was, like, soft, but it was, like, bitey. I don't know. Like, everything about it was, like, I don't know. I felt like it was technically perfect. It seemed really good. So, I don't know. It was cool to see you guys get a different look and mix it up, and how it's funny how that even making one change last minute like that, it changed your guys' whole day. So I'm excited to see what you guys do moving forward, and it's cool to see, and it's cool too because I felt like it opened up for him to be able to use his offense too, because we all know, everybody knows Jimmy has the biggest put away, and he's scary and all those aspects, and there's so all the players are nervous about that, so it'll be cool to see that come out.
Right. And then Championship Sunday. So schedule came out Saturday night. I'm looking at the schedule, seeing that I'm playing back-to-back finals, playing mixed first and then singles. So in my head, I did some mental preparation. And obviously, there's not a lot of teams that can beat Ben and Anna Lee, and there's a lot of teams that get blown up by Ben and Anna Lee. So in my head, I just ran it through a couple of different scenarios. I'm like, okay, if we beat this team, this is what I should be thinking, or this is how I should feel moving into the singles. If we get destroyed by this team, okay, if this happens, get your what together. Because you're gonna be thrown back out there in like 20 minutes to play Connor in singles. So anyhow, I had kind of ran through a couple different scenarios in my head. Obviously, we got completely ran over. Game 2 and game 3, it was better. Game 2 and game 3 looked a little cleaner. It's a damn good team. If you have an answer on how to beat that team, please call me. Call me and let me know. Okay, give me the secret recipe, because Mr. Wright, Matt Wright, seems to think he's got the blueprint.
Lobber. She doesn't have an overhead. I don't know about that.
That's what it's kind of funny. So Matt and
who was saying that?
Matt and Lucy had just got done playing Ben and Anna Lee, and let's see. And then Catherine and I were going out there to play. I can't remember who. Maybe it was James and Anna. Anyhow, we ended up taking Matt and Lucy's bench. They're getting their crap together. And then as they're leaving, he's like, bro, I got the blueprint. He's like, lob her. I'm like, okay. I will try to lob her. Actually, in MLP, or in the semifinals at MLP, the Masters, ended up playing the fives, and guess what Lucy tried to do?
Lob her.
She tried to lob her, and it was not successful.
I get, tell me, this could sound really dumb, but If you're not using the lob a lot in your game, like there's a few players that tend to use it more than others, right? Like AJ uses it, or he did a decent amount.
AJ
Callan,
loves to go to the
Callan,
well.
Callan lobs.
Call him the lob doctor.
Yeah. So, but
works a
if
little
you're
bit.
not like that and that consistent,
Good luck trying to find it.
Yeah, I was gonna say like, it seems pretty tough to like have a consistently good lob if you don't do it all the time.
Yeah,
Is that accurate?
yeah,
I don't know.
I think that's very accurate.
Yeah.
Just like with anything,
Gotta get practicing.
Yeah, I mean, just like with anything. Like if you're a counterattacker at heart and that's your identity and you don't have much offense off the balance and you don't have a whole lot of offense out of the air, I mean, kind of like a Tyler Lung. I mean, take a look at Lung's. Lung's a prime example, right? Lung has zero offense from the kitchen line, but the guy scraps, he grinds, puts a lot of balls in play, counters well. And Ernie's like there's freaking no tomorrow. And Lung is starting to lob a little bit, but Lung, there's just not a whole lot of offense there, right?
Right.
So if you're not a lobber or if you can't create, it may be difficult last minute to play Anna Lee and say, hey, you know what? Even though I've never lobbed in my whole career, I'm going to try it now. Go ahead.
Yeah, it'd be tough.
All right, no.
Got it.
Good luck. If you can do that, kudos to you. And after playing mix, I ended up playing my guy CG. Even though I love him, I had to stick it to him.
You had to crawl back.
I was down 5-10. Game 1. What's new? I like being down. Sink or swim. I was down 5-10. Called the timeout. Had K-Mac on my sideline, and K-Mac just reinforced that I should be, serving people or singles players that like to use the two-handed backhand. You want to kind of serve belly button. Why? Because when you serve belly button, they have to naturally find space, and when they find space, they're moving laterally. When they move laterally, they're usually like a step or two coming in, or they're like a step or two late coming in, and that step or two late coming in singles goes a freaking long way. So anyhow, the game plan was serve belly button, kind of jam them up a little bit, force them to find space, and then from there, when I drive, don't drive and look to see how pretty that Ferrari is. Drive that Ferrari and get my ass in and close with a Bugatti. Anyhow, so we ended up banging the third more. And when we drove the third, we didn't look to see how pretty it was. We came in, crashed, stayed home, and I was able to take some fifth balls out of the air so I could clean up on. So I ended up climbing back. Connor gave me a couple freebies late in game 1. I would say that was from kind of serving bigger, serving with some more depth, kind of near that belly button area. And ended up winning game 1, rolled in game 2, soaked some beer. And that's my new celly, by the way. Whether I win in the semis or I win on Championship Sunday, we're going to have beer sitting courtside, fans, subscribers, anybody. If you've gotten McGuffin, get your ass down to Championship Court, slug some Millers with me, dump some beer on my head, and let's ride. Let's ride. It's Miller time.
Not only are they, our partner, but they're a partner of the tour, so they're giving back in big ways for PPA and the sport and all the above. So how cool to be able to be different, be not like every other sport, and kind of stand out with that. Sure. So,
kind of funny. Catherine
cool.
and Anna Lee were on my bench right after my singles, and there was beer everywhere. Fans are dumping beer on me. Anyhow, the whole bench was just soaked in beer. So Flaxman's trying to like manage the whole thing. You can see his face in all the photos. Fans are everywhere, and Flaxman's trying to like wipe up the bench and.
We watered it down, got rid of all the beer.
Anyhow, great day. Anytime I can have a weekend like that, I always try to keep those memories in the back of my head. Use that stuff as fuel. Just like St. George, like recognize the feeling, recognize what I'm seeing when I'm walking out of the venue, know how it feels. Just, I don't know, all those little moments to me are moments that I feel like I'll have for a very long time. So I want to freaking hang on to that stuff, because there's plenty of moments when I leave venues and I'm like, it was not a great weekend. You know what I mean? So love playing halfway decent, love being healthy again, family's good, and check out this new Miller collab Selkirk paddle that is not for sale.
Limited edition.
Limited edition.
It's so funny.
Look at that little honey.
Some of the Selkirk employees, even because they didn't make extra, it's just however many, 100 and something that they produced for Miller. They were like dying to get their hands on one of those paddles.
Come at daddy. Rafa's famous quote. If these hands can't catch up, I don't know who's can. Oi!
Get it, Rob.
Oh yeah, K-Mac knows what I'm talking about. That's one of the 6:30 a.m. one-liners from Rafa. If these hands can't catch up, I don't know who's can. Legend. In San Clemente, we ended up staying at a killer spot. It was right on the cliff there. We could like walk down to the pier. Got my Bear Coast coffee every morning. Surfers are out at 6 a.m. ripping.
Yummy breakfast tacos from Sunrise, I think it's called.
Sunrise tacos.
Homemade tortillas.
Some of the best restaurants we ate at in San Clemente. Sancho's Tacos, Nick's, South of Nick's, Sol Agave.
I'm pretty sure it's called Sunrise Cafe for the
Sunrise Cafe.
So yummy.
Pierside. So funny. Tell them.
It's so funny.
Pierside's bomb.
Pierside was so good. And they had like
70 something cocktails.
Yeah. And
it's
not only
insane.
that though, like the poke nachos are so good.
Poke nachos
and, like,
don't play.
Just all the food. Even the breakfast wasn't bad.
Cali Sando.
And, but it was funny. We got like 2 messages from locals saying like, well,
you couldn't pay me to eat that.
Yeah, one of them in particular, like, and I thought the food was great. So I wonder if maybe it wasn't good and now it is good. But yeah, I mean, anybody we took there was like blown away. They thought it was really yummy. But we did eat way more at Nick's and the other places, just to be fair. But toward the end, it was kind of nice. It was right on the beach. You could see the water. There wasn't a lot of people there. So yeah, we enjoyed Pierside. Maybe give it another try. Unless there's something we don't know, but I feel like it was good.
Let's see here. We ran a kids camp on that Wednesday before PPA San Clemente. Had 32 kids out there. Appreciate all the parents helping out, and also Lifetime. Just in general, that venue's great. Love all the staff there at Lifetime. Dan Roditi is the new director there. Dan's a total stud. I've known Dan for the last 8 years, ever since I've been competing in pickleball. I always joke with Dan because Dan was a great singles player back in the day. Everybody, loved Dan's one-handed backhand, probably the prettiest thing you'll ever see. And the couple times I played Dan in singles, it was always like going to 3 and stuff like that. And Dan, I don't know, 10, 12 years older. And Dan was known to like dive on the court. Freaking, the guy was just all effort. Anyhow, Dan's the new guy there. And not only did we run a kids camp on that Wednesday, but K-Mac ran himself a little TM special on Monday, Tuesday. We had 32 campers as well. Got to use the pros there at Lifetime. They were great. K-Mac said that all the campers had a lovely time, and just want to say appreciate you, Lifetime, for not only providing a great tournament experience, but also being a camp sponsor of us.
Kind of funny story with the kids camp. There was 8 permanent courts down below, and PPA was like, "Oh, so sorry, but we can only get you the 7 of the 8 permanent courts." And we didn't know why, but sure enough, while we were down there, we had the 7 courts. We had kids everywhere.
Oh, leave it alone.
And no, but the last court.
You didn't hear this from me.
The last court actually happened to be a qualies match because they needed it for that. So I felt bad just because we had kids that, obviously couldn't keep the ball in play right next to a qualies match. So we were able to like move them over a court, but it was kind of fun. It was kind of funny that the kids got to watch a qualies match taking place too, but intense.
AL has continued her triple streak. The girl is scary good, and I don't see her going anywhere. So the girl's next level completely. The men's match, game 4 and 5. Obviously, Ryan, Matt, put up a fight. I think that was their best fight they've put up probably this year. But if you take a look at game 4 and game 5, it was surgical. Not throwing any shade whatsoever at Matt and Rye, because that's a damn good team. But what the Johns did, 11-0, and then up 6-0 game 5, like 16 in a row. Scary, scary good. The doctor's in the building, and he's at surgery. Okay. No, I mean, James and I got completely rolled up and just smoked by that team completely. And I think there's a lot of teams out there that are looking for an answer. Obviously, they ended up losing to Ben Newell and Fear the Fill-Up. I don't believe that's probably ever going to happen again. But also, too, I don't know entirely if this is sure, not trying to spread rumors, but apparently there was somebody in the crowd when it was like 6-0 in Game 5 that said 17 or they said 17-0, and they used the B word. And not going to mention who this was, but somebody on the court that was losing said said F you. Woo! Tell you what,
Spicy.
Heat is being dropped.
Be nice, fans.
Okay, I just linked up with a company called Lace Clips. Go to laceclips.com and check out what they provide. Pretty cool. Lace Clips. It's a device that goes directly on your laces. Bluetooth. You download the app. Tracks your steps. Tracks your pivots. Tracks your jumps. You can compare with your friends. You can compare with your pickleball players. You can compare with your pickleball partner. You can beat your hubby, or if you want, you can compete with me and take a look at my analytics. Anyhow, super cool. We are offering lace clips during camps. I am wearing them on my shoes every time I play. So if you want to compete with me, or if you want to check out what lace clips are, you can go to the link in my bio on my Instagram page, or also you can go to my website, go to TysonMcGuffin.com, check out the sponsors tab and see what lace clips are all about. Anyhow, check them out today. Mama, what do you got to say about lace clips? I know you're wearing them morning and night. What do you got to say?
Well, one, I need to get back on the pickleball court or in the
Get your
gym.
ass.
I don't do
Get
that.
your steps going.
Nothing physical.
If you're gonna be in McGuffin, you need to have at least 5,000 steps a day.
Oh, stop.
Mac does.
Yeah, I know.
Mac
and
does.
I guess if I'm chasing Mac around, that probably
chase him around.
equates.
Right.
But anyway,
Quit being so efficient and just chase him around.
No, I think it's a super cool device. I think it's cool that
Super
you can compete against your friends or against professional athletes. So you can even look at, I think they've got some basketball players, some NFL guys.
Right.
So other sports are using it just the same. It's a really, really simple to charge them and put them on your shoes and keep them on there. You've even played on court during tournaments with them, and hasn't bothered you at all.
Do it every tournament. Easy.
Yeah.
They don't weigh all that much.
Yeah, there's white ones, there's black ones, but
Any color you want.
Yeah, super easy to use and super cool analytics. So I'm excited to see. I'm interested to see what we can use it for beyond.
The app is
beyond
functional
that.
too. The app's super easy to use.
Yeah, super.
I'm
super
definitely not a
functional.
numbers guy,
Yeah.
and the app is very easy for me to use. So.
And actually, one thing we're kicking around starting hopefully soon here would be any camper can actually get them, and then we'll have kind of a camp group, and so all of our campers can kind of keep tabs with each other, just like we have the camper forum. If you've taken a TN
I want.
honestly,
this makes the perfect sense, right? The gold sponsor for Lace Clips needs to be James Ignatowicz. I mean, honestly, how many steps?
That's true.
I guarantee 30,000. 30,000 in
Quick
3 matches. No,
Quick
per match, 10,000 steps. Easy. James, if you're not doing that, shame on you.
Let's get him up here.
Okay. Lace Clips. Okay. MLP San Clemente. Hustlers. Hustler Nation. Team ownership group. Love you guys. But we did not show out this last weekend. Great season. I can't thank the ownership group enough. I can't thank Hustler Nation enough. I truly felt so much support, so much love. Corey, Jason, Nate,
PR.
LeBron, Kevin Love, Draymond. Appreciate you guys, but we couldn't do it. Those guys took care of everything. Honestly, we really didn't have to pay for a whole lot. So love MLP, love what MLP offers, love the mission statement behind MLP. And I want to say a huge shout out to the Seattle Pioneers for winning MLP San Clemente. And huge shout out to the LA Mad Drops for winning the super final and taking home 60 G's.
That was so fun to watch.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And Julian Arnold, come on. If you don't like Adiyama or not, the guy is truly passionate on the court. He may chirp a little bit, but all good. I think Adiyama's a stellar dude. He's humble off the court. And he put on a show yesterday. What they did in men's against Tyler, who knew his role very well, who played stellar with Ben. I thought Tyler, just with obviously playing with the ultimate GOAT, having kind of this weird little sliver to play with. I thought he played the role very well. He dropped well. He countered well. He earned like there was no tomorrow. And anyhow, what T-Dub, Thomas Wilson, and Julian did in the men's was outstanding. And also, Catherine and Irina put a little beat down on Megan and Etta. And then for Julian and Catherine to go in up 2-0 in that first mixed, knowing it's going to be Etta and Ben, and to beat them and to go 3-0 clean sweep to end season 1 super final. Come on. Sick way to end, right?
So cool.
Sick way to end. Yeah. LA Mad drops.
Oh my gosh. And Catherine.
Yeah, come on. If anybody I want winning 60 G's, it is Catherine Parento. Love me some Caddy.
The most deserving player.
Love me some Caddy.
Out there.
Let's see here. Kind of another story, BLQK ended up taking silver, ended up taking second at MLP Daytona. They ended up going 0-3 in pool play, and Coop went 0-6. Love me some Coop. I think she's super talented, but she did not have herself a good weekend. I went 2-4. I would say over the 3 events I played, obviously I kind of had I didn't have a great first season. I was pretty banged up, but I think, I probably won 50 to 60% of my matches. Obviously was hurt, got hurt in the Dream Breaker in the quarters of MLP Mesa. Played day 1 MLP Daytona, didn't play day 2, was all banged up, and then this one ended up going 2-4. So definitely, I had a lot of confidence going into MLP San Clemente from PPA from the previous week, but we ended up getting kind of beat up by the hard 8s. Rafa and I are up, 2013 against Florida Smash. Ended up 2013 against Travis and Kyle. I don't know. I had like 3 match points, blew it. Ended up losing 2022. Lacey and I ended up playing the next mixed. Ended up getting a win over, Rattlesnake in Georgia. And then we ended up winning in a Dream Breaker. And then on that next day, played the Mashers. Won in men's. Rafa and I got our first dub. Ended up beating Matt Wright and Andre in men's. And Andre and Matt hadn't lost in pool play, so it was good to get that win. And then Lacey and I ended up losing in mixed. So I'll tell you what, those games at 21, anything can happen. I can't tell you, just how much value there is in that scoring format to like set the tone early to get up, 4 or 5 points. Prime example. Take a look at, the Sunday final. It's the Fives versus the Pioneers. The Fives on paper, singles wise, is so much better than the Seattle Pioneers. But Ben got out to a 3-1 start, sent Tyler out next. Tyler won his first 4 against AL. They got up, 7-1? And then the girls rolled. Anyhow, on paper, there's no way the Pioneers beat the Fives ever. But in that format, you get up early, it's freaking tough to climb that mountain and get back. Roll. Yeah, for sure. But overall, I thought MLP did a great job with the marketing. I thought MLP did a great job with the stream.
It just gets better and better.
Venue was rocking. True spectators there. No amateurs playing. Awesome. Another funny highlight. Hayden Stud. Who has more confidence than that 17-year-old kid? I'll tell you what. Not a lot of people. Big fan of Hayden. Anyhow, Hayden is playing Matt and Lucy in that semis in the mixed. And Lucy, they end up winning the point. Lucy blows Hayden a kiss. Hayden grabs it, puts it on his cheek, and accepts the kiss. Brilliant moment. And then the very next point beats Matt head to head and basically gets in Matt's face, points at him flexes a little bit, and then right when he gets back to the baseline, gets called for a blue card.
He did? Oh, no. I didn't know that.
Hayden's full of spice. Full of spice. Pay that man. Franklin, pay that man. Get him paid.
Next week, well, we're home this week, which is so nice. And then next week, I guess Sunday, I still have to book everything. We are leaving Sunday with our whole crew and bringing all the kiddos to Nashville for 2 days to teach. You're doing a camp in Nashville Monday, Tuesday. And then we're driving to Kentucky to do like a private little camp thing Wednesday, Thursday.
At Papa Jay's house. Papa John.
And then we are, headed out from there. We're going to head home.
Coming home for 5 weeks, not doing a thing.
4 weeks, 5 weeks.
Not doing a thing. Anyhow, I'm going to doctor up this elbow for a couple weeks.
Yep.
And then get back to freaking a lot of protein and pumping iron. I'm weighing like 185 right now. I plan to shed some more off my waist and gain some more up top. So
all those pros out there that want to get some training in that 4 week span,
get your ass to CDA.
Come up here.
I got Yame coming for a week in early July. I got Kutzmeyer coming for a week late July. I got CG coming for a week middle of July. I'm having actually all my teaching pros and maybe my agent, my content guy to come out July 10th to the 14th. We're going to rent a house. I'm going to show appreciation to my whole crew, teaching staff, content crew, agent. Could be some drinking. Could be some Miller lattes. Anyhow, love my team. I would love to get Emily Taylor and Chris Taylor and my camp administrator out here, but she's too cool to come to Coeur d'Alene, apparently.
She's got a whole tour herself that she does.
Anyhow,
pickleball tournament.
Got a new display here. Got every color is sketchy. Got the black and pink. Got the white and pink. Got the red and white and the goldie.
We've seen the all pink.
Yeah. Next time you see our studio, we're gonna
a little revamp
this place, make it a little messier, but it's gonna look fairly organized. Anyhow, appreciate you guys. Keep following my journey. Newsletter pumps out every Thursday. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. For all the YouTube subscribers that are dying for some new content, I promise. I promise. Over COVID is when we started this whole thing. We started the camp business. We started the podcast. I filmed about 200 educational videos. I am now through all those educational videos. So you will not be seeing any more old content. While I have my pros here, July 10th to the 14th, we're going to plan to film for 2 days, film like 20 or 30 videos to kind of hold us through the end of the year. And then come end of the year, we're going to film some more. Anyhow, we're going to have new content out here soon. Appreciate you guys. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. My name is Tyson McGuffin. This is The McGuffin Show. We will see you later.